Hey, Carlton.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. Sorry. Normally Prasanna takes these sessions, so I was just informed that the session is going on, but he hasn't turned up yet for this session. So yeah, so mainly we'll just be taking some doubts and some clarifications for this session. Won't be any teaching events for this session. We will have one more session tomorrow, and then that will be the one that will be the last session for this term, and it will cover the other aspects of the end term. Okay? And they will most likely we will have a mock available for it as well. So someone raised the question: what is bonus? Okay, so the bonus marks is so the way it's structured. It's for people that have already done GA7. So if you have finished GA7, and that means you have done the submissions, you have completed the 3 peer reviews, and so in that sense, you have finished GA7, which the deadline for that finishing the peer reviews is tomorrow. Then you have an opportunity. So this is not for everyone. This is only for people who actually did GA7. So if you have finished GA7 and you've done the 3 peer reviews, then you get an opportunity to get 5 bonus marks that get added to your T score. And the way that works is you do 5 more reviews, and for each review that you get, then you will still be evaluated based on the metrics of GA7. So the scoring metrics has been mentioned in the review form. So you'll have to follow that. I won't explain that in detail here because I've done that in a session before. So it will still follow the metrics for the 3 reviews, but that will be scaled up to 5 extra reviews. And for each one of those, you can get up to 1 mark for each one of those, totaling up to 5 total bonus marks. So the idea behind it is learning has to occur throughout TDS. I mean, if the course was only 4 weeks, then we would have no need for any extra modules or extra GAs, right? So the goal is to give students teaching for all the 7 modules, and GA7 is one of them. And those that stuck it out and did GA7, and there were, I think there were about roughly 200 who did, then they have the opportunity to do some extra activities because obviously they are invested in the subject. So they get the opportunity to do some extra activities, which not only helps them, but it also helps us. And our goal is always to increase collaboration, get people to review work, and this sort of interaction is very much valued in TDS. So that's the idea behind giving those students an opportunity to get some extra bonus marks. Was that clear?
Is there?
Carlton,
I've not really done the peer reviews yet, but do we have some guidance on how to do it? Or like, because I only did I attempted GA7, but I only did a few questions, so not all of them.
Sorry, that was not very clear. I think it may be my internet or what, I'm
Okay,
not sure.
okay. So GA7, is there some guidance in terms of how we are to grade them, or because I
Yes,
only did a
yeah,
few? Okay.
yeah. There is a, as soon as you go on the review form,
Hmm.
see if you look at the review form, if you did not do a single review, you will actually get 0 in GA7. You have to complete those reviews. Otherwise, you will
No,
not get
no,
any
no.
marks in GA7.
I did not complete GA7 all questions, so I'm not sure how to judge other
Uh,
people, right? So, is there some guidance on that, or should we like complete the GA7 once and then mark it?
I'm still not sure about your question, Ritik. What exactly are you asking?
Okay.
no, so
Is it clear
Carlton,
now?
Lakshya, so the questions in the form, actually will help you to understand what has to be reviewed. It is very clearly provided as to what is expected of the review. Even if, let's say, you haven't done any of the GA7 questions, you can actually look at the submissions provided and appropriately provide your review. I hope, Lakshay, I have answered your question.
It's not me. It's Ritvik, sir.
Who is it?
Ritvik Aspi.
Okay,
Ritvik,
Ruthvik.
Ritvik.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I saw you're being unmuted first. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Carlton, the question was on what if this person has not completed a question? Will they be able to review the question given the handicap that they have not completed that particular thing?
Uh, I'm trying to think of a concrete example with G7. What specifically
Okay,
are they
so
referring to?
let's take this particular question. So let's assume that they have not done that spreadsheet question, the very first spreadsheet question.
Okay.
Whatever be the reason, the student has not submitted his, I mean, the GA7. It is all the submissions except that spreadsheet question. Now, given the
Yeah. So
handicap
when,
that he has,
yeah.
he has not looked into the spreadsheet question, will he be able to review another person who has done the spreadsheet question?
Yeah. So the review itself, the process is they are able to. So, for example, when you're reviewing someone else, they will have provided you, for example, the graph and the what was it called? There will be some qualitative type information, some quantitative information will be there. So, for example, there'll be a spreadsheet, there'll be a graph. And if the answer is easily obtainable from that, then you can score them accordingly. But if you are not able to obtain the answer from them, then you're evaluating them fairly anyway. So you're giving them a score, whoever it is. And if others agree with your score, so if there are other reviews, because each one gets more than one review, right? So if the aggregate of the other reviews come to the same conclusion, then you have given a good review for that person, right? Because your reviews match what others have also seen in that review. I mean, does that make it any clearer? I mean, hello?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay, so here is a request to all those people who have at least done a review and has seen the entire set of GSL. There is a thread that is going on which is saying about the bonus mark. Uh, so after you complete all the reviews, if any of you could just put in your thoughts about GA7 and the bonus over there, it would be really appreciated. Carlton, does that make sense?
uh, yeah, I mean, you're talking about the thread where they are talking about the bonus about GA7,
Exactly,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, it's good to get feedback because then we can see what things we can change or improve, and know what the students thought about the GA itself. So whether G7 they gain something that is valuable to them or not. So that's always useful for us to what the gain for students were from. Okay. Were there any other questions?
Yes, Carlton.
Yes, go ahead. Lakshmi.
Carlton, many students submit GS7 like who did not previously submitted GA1 to GS6. So they are
And
trying to
so, okay, hang on.
cover
I've got to
those
stop.
scores.
I've got to stop you there. How did you
Yes.
know whether many students who are doing GA7 are the ones who didn't do GA1? What on what basis did
Actually,
you? come to that conclusion?
Uh,
I mean, do you have data
on
that
the
backs
basis
that
of
up?
threads, like
Yeah,
I also
using
not did because I already did week 1 to 6,
yeah number of
and
views and
already.
during that thread you can see.
So that's my idea. I'm
So
not
okay,
sure,
so
but
here is a comment to that. Okay, so all of you read newspapers.
yes, sir.
Yeah, so as per newspaper, US is doing a massive tit for tat in terms of custom revenues, custom tariffs, etc. Right?
Yeah,
So how much of that is true? What is happening to each? I mean, each country has a very different custom tariff, right?
hmm
So, I mean, before accusing or before even putting out any such things based on, so do you believe newspapers? That's my first question.
yeah, definitely, sir. Not
Oh,
every newspaper, but like I compare some newspaper, then I believe on some news mostly.
okay. Okay, then let me ask a very direct question. Among the people who are posting in the thread that I haven't done I haven't done GA1, GA2, how many of those people do you believe?
Actually, I don't believe on anyone.
Huh.
I believe
So
only on
then,
those person who DM me personally for like
See,
he
how
is
does it
a
matter if
personal.
somebody did some GS or not? It's their course, right? It's their score that is going to
Yes.
get affected. You have to see your own thing and how the calculation is setting up for you. Only the four GAs, right, are going to be counted in the final score. So probably they are deciding accordingly, right? And the
Actually,
bonus
I'm
marks
not
may or may
aware
not
of
have been available.
bonus marks, so that's why I not did GS7.
Yeah, that
I
could be an
mean,
issue. That could be an issue. But if it was mentioned somewhere, then we cannot say.
so, Ritvik, I mean, it will not be an issue. Have you read what is the grading policy in the grading policy
See,
document?
if all I'm saying is if it's in the grading policy document, then
Yeah.
it is not an issue.
So,
If it's
have
there,
you? I mean, has any one of you read the grading policy document
I
and
didn't read it.
looked at how do course team awards bonus? Very simple question.
Hmm.
According to them, sir, like they can assign some bonus activities from their end, so that's how we get bonus marks, free bonus
And
marks.
okay, so which is correct, which means you have read the grading policy. Have you
Yes, sir.
seen how bonus marks were provided in the previous versions of TDS?
In this term, sir,
No, no, previous.
I'm not sure, sir.
Have you read the TDS, the main web page? Have you gone through the main web
It is
page?
not the main web page.
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
In the Jan 2025 grading document, there is not much information, but on the main web page, it is showing.
No, no. So, I mean, in the grading document, it is mentioned how the bonus marks will be awarded for subjects. There is a broad caveat. So, what is bonus? What do you mean by bonus? Bonus is something that the course team provides for some additional activity.
Hmm.
Okay, it is not related to graded assignments. Okay,
So
graded
but just
assignments are one part. Graded assignments are only one part of it. The graded assignments are evaluated separately. So all the people
Okay, okay. See,
who are looking at,
in the
yeah,
this TDS page, it is written bonus activities may be posted on discourse. Now that this specific condition actually puts the onus on our students to check actually discourse if there are any bonus activities which are being announced. So yeah, that is kind of covering this.
yeah. So basically, I mean, so maybe posted on discourse is what we have said, but essentially, the long and short of it is bonus is something that is at the discretion of the course team. It is the course team that decides what the bonus activity is. Okay. And I mean, very importantly, if people have already attempted GA7, Ritvik, I believe you have done GA7. And since
Yes, I have done.
you haven't started the peer review, you wouldn't be able to look at it. But please take a look at the email that has come to you regarding bonus. If you have already done GA7, it means you would have received an email regarding this bonus activity.
Yes, I have
So
the mail regarding bonus activities and also the five other additional things which we have to do.
yeah, so what I would just ask you is go through that mail and try doing at least one review. Okay, try
No,
doing
no,
at least one
I
review.
just saw, just saw, so it's not very difficult to like I opened it up. Also, just one tip: if other people are reviewing, use live server, and you can then navigate through the HTML files.
Yeah, so try doing one peer review and see the amount of effort that is needed for a review. Okay. So, yeah, then I believe, I mean, if anyone, and it is fair. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the best way of giving bonus. This is the right way of giving bonus. But after doing the reviews, do a self-reflection. Does the 5 mark actually make sense? Is there effort involved? Does it, I mean, like what Carlton explained, does it improve the overall collaboration that is meant in the course, right? Every action of the course team is primarily meant to improve the collaboration of learners as part of the course. If you look at ROE, if you look at projects, even if you look at GS, right? Everywhere, right from day one, course team has been exhorting about the importance of collaboration. Now, GA7 is a place where they have, I mean, it is the culmination of the entire thing, right? So, in that culmination, they have made it interesting enough to include collaboration as part of the entire assessment process, right? So, aren't they justified to provide additional incentive for people who have put in the effort to collaborate? I mean, see, I'm not saying what I'm saying is final or anything like that, but do take a look at absolute facts before making your judgment. Do not believe. I mean, so I mean, this needs to be something that everyone needs to know. I mean, there is a lot of data. There is a lot of uh, what do you say, emotional posts, not just in discourse. I'm talking in general. If you look at social media, everywhere it is the emotional angle that is where you can see a lot more of posts. So each of these are data points. If you look at the way tools in data science talk about data, right? So now, as a IIT Madras student, especially a BS student, what the course is teaching you is to use the data and make an informed decision about any aspect or narrate a story with data, right? I think that's what last week was about, the data visualization and others. What is the data and what is the story part of it? Yeah, all I think the course team is asking is, even before posting all these, take a look at the data, take a look at absolute facts, and then you talk about what the issues. And if there is a merit in the issue, definitely I think TDS team is the one who have been the most what do you say, I mean, most student friendly in the entire course. I have no doubt about that part of it. I mean, in fact, even they
Yeah,
are
definitely,
still
sir.
fighting. Yeah, in fact, they are still fighting with us for the P1 revaluations regarding Docker file. Uh, that is a completely different thread altogether. But see, I mean, when a course team is trying to support and trying to get more students involved in a course, I think the least that would be, I mean, at least as a acknowledgement of their effort, the least that you could do is check the facts, check the data before making any uh, irrational judgment. Okay, so and this I say this because going forward, all I mean, most of you would be doing great things in your life. I'm pretty sure of that. You should always remember this, that never ever commit the folly of being led by emotional arguments. That's not good generally for one, and generally not good for a democratic country. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Yeah, Carlton, stage is all yours. Just wanted to say a few points before I would step out.
Thanks, JK. So, there's nothing significant I want to add to that, except that, yeah, we definitely always look out for the students' interests, and we have made every effort to always advocate for you guys. Whenever there's a disagreement, even among the in the course team, we always try to push the student advantage so that things are done in your favor. So that's something we definitely do. So I appreciate JK that you have joined this session today and helped clarify some of the smoke and mist that is around the bonus mark issue. So thanks for that.
One more thing, sir. How do we know about like uh, the efforts put in the GS7, the bonus activity part?
Yeah, this goes back to the initial point I was trying to make, which is um, students that have taken the effort to go all the way to GA7.
Honestly,
Uh,
people just putting the effort to at least open the file, read the questions, and giving some score, whether a
yeah,
correct
yeah,
or not.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly,
And
that is
yeah,
effort enough. I've taken interviews of people. Some people do not reply back to the interviewer, even though we are close to selecting them. And then they
yeah,
complain that they're not getting selected.
yeah. So that's a good point. And with regards to GA7, the other thing I was going to mention was there is a reason we have seen. Normally, when you do peer reviews in other courses, they anonymize it, so you can't even know whose submission it is, right? But here we have actually given you the email address of the people whose review your whose submission you're reviewing. And the whole idea behind that is we don't want it to be anonymous. We want you to engage with the other person. If there is, for example, permissions that have not been given in previous, so I remember when I have done stats myself, right? If the permission was not given, we just put a zero. That's it. There is no more discussion about it. The person doesn't know that his submission is not being reviewed, and you have no way of contacting that person that hey, I want to actually look at your work. Maybe it's something really nice that I've not thought about. But we want people here to engage with each other. So when you look at the peer, you can get in touch with them if you can't see their submission, and then you can look at it. You can ask him questions about it. Why did they choose this visualization, or why did they do it this way, or how did they do it? And that engagement, that interaction that you have with that person, then helps you also inform your reviewing, right? So you can actually do the review part after having engaged with the peer.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's
One very important question. Okay.
yeah,
When we were doing this GA7, right, we were supposed to create give the permission, viewer access to everyone in IIT Madras, right?
yeah.
Now I have given that. I got request for somebody asking editor access. I should
You
not
don't,
be giving that, right?
yeah. You don't need to give editor access. You just need to give
Uh,
viewer access is sufficient, because if they
exactly. No,
can,
I remember that what I created, I gave viewer access to everyone in IIT Madras,
okay, yeah,
right? So
yeah.
okay, so
Viewer is sufficient.
okay, okay. And when we are requesting access, the default access is viewer only, right? As per IPN policy.
I'm not sure. I think default might be viewer, but I'm not sure. You'd have to check and see.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so JK made a good point, which is you can also give them commentator access, so they can comment on things as well. So that's also safe, because they
Mhm.
cannot change anything, but they can put comments in different places. So in case you all are not able to engage
Because
immediately,
I just assume that because only one person is asking for editor access,
yeah.
then probably there's an issue because otherwise I would have gotten at least 3 requests. Right?
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, don't worry about it. Hopefully, see, many people do it at the last minute also, right? So deadline is tomorrow. So that might be the reason why so far only one person has asked, because only one person has probably bothered to see. Everyone has been given allocated at this stage. Everyone has been allocated was done GA7 has been allocated totally 8 people, 3 for your actual GA7 score, and the 5 will be the extra for the bonuses. So in total, 8 people hopefully will eventually look at it. But yeah, the try to engage the people whom you have been allocated, so that way you are able to review it, and they also get to take part in their own review.
Honestly, I do not. I think if you've gotten most of the people may have gotten good scores in the first four, right? And they are going to be counted. The real score here is basically the bonus marks.
Yes, yeah,
Because that is what matters. Now, what you really get in the GA, it does not matter at all.
yeah. But again, the way to score in bonus also is going to have to be a bit tactical, right? In the sense that you can't just give anything, right? Because now you're going to be pooled in a review of 8 reviews. So your averages better be very close for you to actually get the bonus. How do you achieve this? You're going to have to achieve this by actually engaging with the people, right?
I have not given viewer access to everyone. I checked. I gave that person viewer access already, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah. So yeah. So just have fun with it, and try and uh, gain what we hope you will gain from the interaction, the collaboration, viewing different people's work, and things like that. Okay, I see there is a question in here somewhere. Okay, there's lots of things. We can do one thing. That much time reopen GA7 for a day. Yeah, Abhijit. Unfortunately, deadlines are there for a reason, so we can't do that. Unfortunately, we have pushed many deadlines for various situations that we had, but they were never our intention. Our intention is usually to honor the deadline, but because of some unforeseen issues that we have faced, they end up sometimes getting moved. But in this particular case, it's we will not be able to reopen GA7. That ship has already sailed. Mock, yeah. So tomorrow we will try and get a mock for you. Irony is we are getting all these info after W7 deadline. Yeah, yeah. I mean, getting this after the W7 deadline, that is true, because this is only open for the people that actually did the W7, right? So that's why. So it doesn't involve everyone, but it involves the people who have taken the effort to do GA7. Give you commentator need inputs. Have peer review. I don't, do we have to peer review? Yeah. So if you don't do the peer review for GA7, you're actually not going to get a score for GA7. So the first 3 peer reviews, which we sent a mail out, that is required for you to get a score in GA7. If you don't do that, you will not get a score. So that first 3 is important. The first 3 are not bonuses. That is actually to get your own GA7 score. So just your own GA7 submission is insufficient. You need to do the peer reviews to actually get the score. Like other courses can also. No. Okay. P2 results. Okay. So
My
Sanjay has
ROE,
asked.
that's right. These bonus marks are really valuable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe there's a lesson in there, right? Which is try and do everything. I mean, from my own personal viewpoint, okay. Even if I've got the best, uh, whatever it is, 10 out of 11, 8 out of 6, or I mean, sorry, 6 out of 8, or whatever it is the course requires, right? And I've had these things, right? Personally, this is just my approach. I still do and submit the 11th or the 12th week GAs. Now, maybe that's just me, I don't know. But I do them anyway because I actually enjoy the learning, because I find it
Me
valuable.
too, sir.
Yeah. So,
But this time
you
I
know,
regret.
yeah. So, because I find it actually very valuable, I actually enjoy learning. So, and that I think is true for at least some of the people that have done GA7. I think they have uh, found something of value in there, and so they have done it. And more power to them, right? Because they stuck it out. They stuck out the full 7 modules. And the other thing is we were very lenient actually this term. In past TDS terms, because TDS was a bit easier than it is now, we actually used to have best 6 of 7 in some terms. So in that case, you would have been forced to most likely do all of them, right? So, but this term was, we understood it was tough for some students, like week 3, week 4, projects were tough. So we deliberately reduced the threshold to 4 of 7. But instead of um, taking advantage of the learning opportunity, we have just used it as a grading opportunity, right? And not done more than what you absolute minimum that is required. So I mean, we can flip that on its head and say, okay, right, from next term we'll do best 6 of 7. Then you will feel, oh my goodness, this is so unfair, right? Now when we make it 4 of 7, when we give bonus for week 7, you're like, oh my goodness, and okay, here's the other thing, it's not for week 7 specifically. It is if you have completed it all, and you have actually finished week 7, only then you are eligible for attempting the bonus. So it's not just for doing GA7. You have to complete GA7, and then you have the opportunity to score maximum of 5. It's not guaranteed you will get 5 because it depends on how good your reviews are. If you actually read the review sheet and understand how it works, then you'll see that it's not a foregone conclusion. You give 5 reviews and you get 5 marks. It doesn't work like that. So there is some effort involved. Okay, so that is about that. P2 results. Okay, so yeah, so P2 results. We've had some unforeseen issues crop up. I'm not at liberty to discuss them with you. There are some serious issues that we are dealing with. So there will be some delay. One thing is for certain, you will. Mm, I am very reluctant to say at this stage, but it will most likely occur on the Monday, uh, at the earliest, Monday after your enter. You will get your P2 score. That is the earliest. Okay. Operations has informed me also that they really, really want it on that day. Whether we can actually deliver it or not will depend on a lot of things that we are currently dealing with, some internal matters. So I cannot give you anything better than that at this stage. Okay, but here's the other thing: as soon as we are able to, we will release it. Okay, that's always been our goal. We will still try to. Okay, I don't get any email. I completed the form, but I don't get any email. I didn't understand that, Vicky. Can you explain that a bit? What do you mean by that? Vicky, are you in the
Carlton,
session?
one request.
Yeah, Vicky is not in the session. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Is it Lakshay? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Sir, among the student who submitted week 7, like, can you publish a data from those students? How many of them completed rest 6 assignments? Like, for
Uh,
like curiosity,
like you
only
mean,
the
yeah,
percentage.
you want the data output for that. Yeah, that's something
Yeah,
we
like
can we
percentage.
can arrange. Yeah, that's something we can arrange. I think JK in fact wanted that information as well, so he has access to that information. And I think he will put out a post later today on that same thread where everyone's posting, and you will have access to some of that information. Okay.
Like from this, we like now how many students are did week 7 for learning or only for the marks
Sure, sure.
to
Yeah, yeah.
complete the 4 out of
Yeah, I
7?
think, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's something we would like to know as well. One thing I know is totally active
Laksh,
students in TDS is roughly about 700 students, totally active. And of that, around 200 have done GSM.
Yeah, so Lakshay, I don't think anyone had submitted GA7 would have imagined that they would get a bonus, additional bonus after this. I don't think anyone was even privy to that. Even the course team was not aware of that. I'm pretty sure of that part. Okay, so nobody would have done it for the bonus.
not for
But
bonus,
yeah,
sir. I'm actually like want to know like how many of them actually interested in week 7 or like 4 after they not completed previous assignments. So that's the
sure,
reason.
sure, sure. No, no, that is another thing that even I wanted to know because I mean, something that, yeah, I mean, they have attempted because they haven't done the 4 out of 6, right? Or they have very
Yes, yes.
poor performance in the earlier 4 and they want to better one of the low scoring thing. Yeah, that's definitely something that I want. In fact, I want to take a look at what has happened to all these people in general in P1, P2, ROE. Everything needs to be checked, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, and it's something even the TDS team, they are always interested in data. I mean, the name the name is in the course, right? So we are also interested in all these interesting metrics because it helps inform us in course design and things. So it's something we also are interested in.
Like other way around, it is always true. Like who have not attempted week 7, like most probably they have got 4 best 400.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've gone through all the questions here. Anything else people have a question about? Any clarifications they want?
Ask something, but I'll probably ask it after the recording is.
Okay. So you're going to ask it after the recording stops, is it? Off the record?
Yes, it's basically not related to academics.
Not related to, sorry?
Not related to the end term or academics.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Have
Okay,
a quick.
but just because you're asking, in term basically the revision is basically we should focus on the mock which is coming up, and then just review the course content, right?
Yeah, so there are some. So I had given some broad instructions to the TAs about what areas are worth focusing on, and it's not surprising that those are the same areas that get focused on almost term after term. So that's why it's worth looking at maybe last term's GA and maybe one more GA before that. But particularly last term's end term, sorry, not GA, I meant end term. If you look at last term's end term, it will very closely mimic that sort of format. You will have some normal MCQ type questions in the first segment, and then you will have some scenario based questions that will deal with a topic a little more thoroughly. And it will cover all 7 weeks. And of course, not everything in all 7 weeks will be important, but those things will be highlighted in the sessions. So I think Jivraj, although I was not there for the entire session yesterday, he I think would have gone through at least some of the. He would have focused on what some of the important topics are. The mock itself will also help you because it will be
Uh,
generally around the themes of things that will be asked in.
mhm. Yeah, he did discuss it's like stuff like fast API request module,
Yeah,
questions about what a tool is, not necessarily more
yeah,
stuff about the tool, but if you, for example, you should know what OpenRefine is used for, and
Yes.
then geo by just getting locations and have the same distance. Question may or may not come because there was some issue with it last time.
Yeah.
Um, but if it comes, he
Oh,
will probably give us more data on how to on how that arc sign is basically sign inverse maybe. So this is the kind of stuff we talk about.
yeah. So this is kind of the usual fare of TDS. And one thing I want to reassure you, TDS end term is always very easy. Even if you don't study, right? Realistically, I can say someone can score probably at least 80% without study. So the remaining 20% is based on you just being very focused on the what things we say are important. If you are thorough with the things we say are important to focus on, that will be the remainder 20 where you get the differential that says, okay, I've really aced this exam because I attended those last two sessions and I looked at the mock and that we typically find students every term when they get past the end term, they'll say, "Oh, that really helped me." So they say thanks for that, and it's not going to be any different this term. We'll get you up to speed on what is the good areas for you to
By
focus
when will the mock be used?
on. I can't give a definite time frame, but sometime tomorrow.
Before 30th?
Yeah, before 13. Sometime tomorrow. Before definitely before the session starts. Anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Have you tried checking? Oh, that's okay. That's one thing I wanted to mention, by the way. Some of you, if you get an email from SC2002, that is the official TDS email announcement mailbox. If you, by any chance, send mail to it, okay, that mail is not going to be read, okay? No one checks that mailbox because it's an announcement mailbox. So don't reply to that mailbox. If you have an issue and you have a query, first best place, discourse. Why? Because discourse, there will be uh, possibly four sets of eyes looking at it, right? And so there's a very high chance. When I say four sets, I mean from the team side, okay? Plus, there will be a super high chance that students also are looking at it. So there is a very high chance you'll actually get a response. Whereas if you still feel that you want to send a mail, send it to either Jivraj or myself. Typically, if you send it to the TAs and myself, then it's possible to get a response from us as well. So that's the way to go about it. But if you send it to SC2002, that's almost guaranteed to not get a response because no one looks at that mailbox. It's an announcement mailbox. So don't reply and send messages to SC2002. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. My laptop's not working correctly. I did not any email for that email. The one guy shared to check.
So Carlton, what Vicky is saying is he has submitted the GS7. However,
Oh, right.
he has not received either a review form nor the
Oh,
email regarding the bonus, if I understood
okay.
it
I
right.
I can check straight away. Vicky, can you give me your email address in the G chat here, please? I can check that straight away. Okay. Let me see here. So GA7. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Um, the question sets, 7 submissions, previous seven. So I've got the submissions sheet here. Okay, so one of the submissions are past the deadline. Okay, so both your submissions are actually past the deadline. That's probably why you did not get a form to fill out. I mean, the deadline was 26th, well, 27th midnight to be precise, but 1 second before that was the deadline. So yours, both of your submissions were well past that deadline. That's why you did not get a form. I mean, do you live in India? Hello, Vicky? I think she still has. Oh no, they're on in the session. I submit in time before 5 minutes of the deadline. Not according to the G sheet we have. The G sheet says you submitted on 27th. One is at 3 in the morning, and then the other one is at 5 or 6 minutes before 3 in the morning as well. So it's all, both of them were close to 3 in the morning. That's what the G sheet says. Did you, by any chance, edit the form after you submitted it later? Because if you did an edit on the form, then it will update the time to the edit time. So then we will have no way of knowing you actually submitted it before. But that's if you edited an already existing form. Yes, but in time. So you made an edit within the time, not according to the G sheet. JK, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, what you said is right. I mean, but even if they edit the form, it will come as a duplicate entry with a new time. So whatever they
Oh,
have submitted, it will be. I mean, to
even
my
for edits, is
understanding,
it?
even for edits, it is going to go in as a new
New
entry.
entry on the G sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to test that out if that's really true. But I have only two entries for Wiki, and both those entries are on the 27th, and both are sort of within 6 minutes of each other near 3 o'clock in the morning.
So, can you do a double check? I mean, Carlton, uh, did we allow automatic response to the form?
No, students had to actually submit. It's a G form, so they had to actually hit the submit button
No, no,
for
no,
it
no,
to be
no. So
sent.
what I meant is the moment they submit, will
Yeah,
they get an acknowledgement of the submission?
I can check.
Yeah, I think he has a screenshot, so he can put it on his course.
So it says send. Yeah, it send responders a copy of their response. So it's been set to always. So yeah, they would have received and immediately an email that confirms that they're sent. So if their
Yeah. So
email is a proof, if they can send us, if Vicky can send us a proof, then I'm happy to send him a form.
Yeah, he is telling that is on 26th March 11:52 p.m.
No, yeah, but if you see, he would have got an email, right? He just needs to send us that, forward us that email that he got. That is confirmation of when he received it. Did you understand, Vicky? Just send us, forward us that email, which is the confirmation of your post. So, post would, JK, there's a lot of noise from your side. Can you just mute for a second? So, what I was saying, Vicky, is when you submitted the form, there would have been a confirmation email that is sent to you. Okay, so
If
what you
you
do is send that email, forward that email to us, because then we can see the timestamp on that email. So if the timestamp on that email shows it is before midnight on 26th, then that's sufficient proof for us. We will send you out immediately a review form for so that you can fill it up. Okay.
Becky can screen share and show it right now also, if you
Yeah, you
wish.
got three or four. Yeah, so three or four. Just send us the first one. Whatever is the earliest one that you got, response sheet. Just send it to send it to my email. Okay. It's I'll put my email in the chat box. If you send it there, then that's it. Okay. Yes, Telvin.
Captain, what happened in today's call? Was the revision or some other discussion?
Sorry. In today's
Call, today's
today's
meetings.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we are just clarifying some questions regarding bonuses for people who have completed GA7. And the other thing that we talked about was when scores are likely to come out for P2, for example, and P1 and things of that sort. So basically, those were the main things that we were discussing. And how reviews around GA7 are designed. So how you can collaborate with people in order to get a good score in GA7. So coordinate with each other, get in touch with the people that you're reviewing, that sort of thing.
Okay. And bonus is separately only for applicable for GA7, right? It's not overall bonus, right?
It's not for
More
GA7. That's a misunderstanding. So GA7, only if you have completed GA7 as an additional opportunity for those who completed it, only they will be eligible to attempt possibly getting bonus marks. And again, the bonus marks itself will be done on the same basis as the GA7 scores are. So how you score in GA7 is will be scaled in the same way for the bonuses.
So if I did not submit GA7, then I will not get bonus for TDS.
No, if you do not submit GA7, you will not even be eligible to attempt doing the bonuses for it.
For the
You
course
have,
itself.
sorry?
No. Is this bonus just additional to the 100 marks of the total course, or is this just
It is
applicable
addition.
for?
Yeah, no, it is not for GA7. It's a course bonus. So if you say, for example, you get 75 marks in TDS overall after everything is calculated, your total T score, then if you have done the bonus questions, you have the possibility of getting up to 5 marks. It's not guaranteed 5 marks because it depends on how the reviews go. The reviews have to be good reviews. There are a lot of criteria that are there in GA7. They follow the same pattern of grading as GA7. So you can get possibly up to 5 marks, but it's by no means it is not guaranteed.
Okay, but in during one discussion, we discussed about this one, and you clarified it's just applicable for GA7 alone. So
Yeah, so it's
so
applicable.
that's why, yeah.
So it is applicable to people who completed GSM. So not just
But
people who attempted.
but I think you have told it as only applicable for GA7 because we had that recording. I only asked a question so
Hmm.
that everybody can understand. And you told it's not necessary to attend GA7 because it's just applicable for the GA7 alone bonus, and I did not attempt it.
Hmm.
So,
Bonus is only announced today. So when did this question come up?
yeah, it was mentioned earlier itself. It was mentioned like 2 weeks ago.
There was no bonus to GS7, or there was no talk of a bonus 2 weeks ago, if I'm not
Yeah, there are
mistaken.
no. That's what I'm thinking. There is no bonus for GA7 specifically. So I'm not sure.
You,
Um,
I attended that call. I still remember that. You were
hmm.
explaining the peer reviews, and I
Okay.
had asked this question
Oh, I
about.
understood. I understood what you're talking about. So
Okay. So see, there are two parts. Okay, I also got it. Yeah, Carter, you may clarify.
yeah, so okay. So in GA7, right, there are these okay, for lack of a better word, we have called them bonus. But effectively what it means is when you complete a certain question, there are these bonus how do you say some extra marks you get for having done three in a row or something like that, right? That's what I was talking about back then. Those things are specifically uh,
Okay,
yeah,
but
those are
I
specifically
asked
for
you.
GA7
Yeah,
because
correct. I
that when
asked
I
you
say
again also. Yeah,
yeah,
if it's necessary to submit GS7, you only told it's not necessary if you have submitted rest of the assignment.
yeah, it is that's true, right? It's not necessary to complete GA7. Back then, we yeah
So bonus is not coming for me, right? Because of
yeah, but
confirmation, I did not
but
correct.
here is the point, right? This is the point that we talked about earlier in this session. The point in the earlier part of the
Okay,
session is
okay,
nobody knew that GA7 is going to or rather than GA7, no one knew that bonus is going to be something available to people who did GA7, but some people did it anyway, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So it is an incentive to them because they have taken the efforts to do it, even though that it was not necessary.
Yeah, but I could have done it, but because of
You
your
should have done it,
confusion, I
right?
did not attempt. But you
But
confirmed it. It's not necessary.
yeah, but that is true. It wasn't necessary. It is
Yeah, correct.
totally
So
up
I
to the
need, yeah, I
students.
need to
Yeah,
get right.
yeah. So I agree. Yeah, I don't disagree.
You confirmed
But
it.
that bonus
Yeah,
that
you
you were talking
confirmed
about,
it.
that's a different bonus because that actually adds up to the GA score itself. That is like
Yeah, but yeah,
as you're doing the GA,
yeah,
each of those
it's fine.
questions.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But still, I missed
Mhm.
out the opportunity just because you confirmed it's not been affecting any of the grades. So that's why I just want to clarify.
Yeah,
It is not
this.
affecting any of the grades.
Yeah, he told us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is not. I mean, it is still not affecting any of it.
Because bonus can affect, right? If we are in an edge case of 78, it can be making it 81, right?
No, no, so see what we meant at that point is it is not going to the bonus is not going to affect your current whatever is your score. It is not going to affect you not doing so. I believe the clarification is you not doing GA7 is not going to impact your current score. I mean, because you didn't do see, it is always best 4 out of 7. So the
Yeah,
interpretation
that
that
is,
I
yeah,
would be,
yeah.
yeah. So let's assume that you have done only 3 out of 6, and you really had a
No,
problem.
I did 6 out of 7. 6 out of 6, I got 600 marks. 7 I did not do because we confirmed it. It's not necessary to do itself, and it will not add any value to that course grade. So I did not do it. That's what the thing was.
It is not going to add value to the GAA score if you have already scored 600. There is no value that is going to come to the GAA score just because you did GA7. However, it is a choice given to you whether you want to do GA7 or not. Is a choice given to you.
Yes, correct. It's fine. Okay. So I would not be eligible for bonus itself. That's what the now conclusion is that if
Course
I did
bonus,
not
yeah,
attempt.
yeah. You will not be eligible for the course bonus, which is correct. Which is correct.
Yeah, correct, right? So I missed out the opportunity because of the misunderstanding, right?
Yeah, but that's not the other thing. Only thing. At that point, we weren't even planning on giving bonuses extra for the course. We didn't even know that there was going to be a bonus at
Yeah,
that
okay,
point.
fine. That's fine. But yeah, but still you have to consider like this case is fine.
So it's a
Then
reward.
we'll have to consider, see, Telvin, then in that case, we'll have to consider a lot of other things, right? A lot of people didn't score well for P1. The course team did that additional thing of building Docker images. They are still fighting for giving marks for people who put the Docker file in a different location. There are a lot of things that we have to consider, right? I
Yeah,
mean, your
it's
point is
true
taken.
only.
Your point is,
Yeah,
see, your point, your feedback is taken. I mean,
yeah,
had there been some announcement regarding that this activity may lead to a bonus, if that had been announced, it would, I mean, you might have actually tried your luck with GSL, right?
yeah, correct.
Yeah, that point is well and truly taken.
Yeah, okay. And
And there is no
okay,
action going to on that because it is the course team's decision.
okay. So I know, so those who did not attempt the GA7 will not be getting any bonus.
Yes,
It's
yes,
the final call.
yes. It is the
But
final
also,
call of the course team.
but also those who took J7 have no guarantee of getting it either. That's also the other thing.
Then why is the talk itself?
So
Yeah,
it
see, you really have to take a look at the activity to understand how the GA7 scores are going to come. So, Telvin, I know you have been a very active student. Take a look at the activity. I mean, you have a lot of friends who might have received that email for bonus, right? Take a look at one of those reviews. try putting in some effort to do the review and see why they are getting that much. Okay.
Yeah, I was there in the peer discussion session. I know what are the criteria, and they were telling that. So that's fine for me. That's fine, but still, I missed out many chances. Like ROE was unlucky. Project one, I fighted with Clapton. He also knows that. So I don't want to again be unlucky. That's why the thing.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no.
so
So yeah,
tell
you're
me, it was not a fight, right? It was we eventually you got what you uh, deserved, right? You got the right marks and everything, right? So it wasn't a fight.
No, no, yeah, no, not actually. But
Yeah.
because of that, seven people got good grades, right? Apart from me. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and
yeah.
also
So
similar case, yeah, similar case we had with another student. He wanted, he was raised the issue of the Docker file, and I was always not happy with the whole aspect of Docker file was not mentioned that it should be at the at the base of the root directory. Okay, it wasn't mentioned explicitly. So that is something I was never happy with anyway, because I feel that students should have been informed of that. So eventually, what happened is we managed to convince the course team, the people who run the program, that see, this is something that we really should address. So we walked through the whole process. We verified many processes that went through as far as project one was concerned. And I pointed out at this stage, this didn't happen. At this stage, this didn't happen. Where at this stage, where something could have been done, it wasn't done properly. So I explained all these things in the defense of students who wanted to get Docker file evaluated, because I also believe it was not fair actually. So, but eventually they have now decided that okay, we will have a look at this issue, and so that student who took it all the way to the top, I'm not saying that's the approach you should take, because we are always fighting for you anyway, but you don't see that. Okay, we don't display that openly in public all the time. But whether you send an email to the top or not, or what, we are always doing our best to get you the best outcome. And what eventually happened is we managed to come to an agreement where they will evaluate these specific submissions separately from the rest of the students. And we did a trial check on this guy who had raised it all the way to the top. And we found that, okay, we did it according to his wish. We searched where the Docker file was, and we tried to build his submission. And guess what? It ended up he still got zero anyway, because he had overestimated the quality of his entire submission. So, but because of people who took the effort to, raise the issue and things of that sort, we were always listening. And so now, because of him, although he got zero, others have benefited, right? So that's a good thing only. That's a good outcome. I think that's a good outcome, that others have benefited, even though he did not benefit directly. But there is also an intangible. He benefited from the learning, so that was helpful to him. So that is always something more valuable than the marks. I mean, I keep saying this, and people don't believe me, right? But when you graduate from this program, you, even 2 years from now, you will laugh at yourself for bothering so much about marks. It will become literally trivial, that trivial. Ask any graduate. I challenge you to ask any graduate from any program, right? This question: did the marks matter? Ask them after a couple of years, and they will say, "Yeah, it didn't matter in the end." But
Honestly, I
what
do not
mattered is
remember my
what they
MBA
learned.
marks.
Sorry.
I do not remember my MBA marks. Like I
Yeah,
know that I was a good student, but I do not remember the exact marks.
yeah. So that's it. Now, the marks are, even if it is low or high, whatever. What matters the most, right, in your life is what you do going forward. That is what you are defined by. You're not defined by the things you have done in the past. What you're doing right now, what you're going to do tomorrow, that is what will define you. Okay, so that is something you should remember always. And so don't worry so much about 1 mark here, 1 mark there. You're unnecessarily stressing yourself over these things. try to enjoy the learning and enjoy the journey, and then do something great. You know, that is what my advice to you is. I mean, the world is full of fantastic examples of that. So, for example, how many of you know this guy Baron? He designed this game called Stardew Valley. Have you heard of him? Has anyone heard of him? Okay.
I
So if
don't
no
play
one,
games. I don't.
yeah. So even if you don't play games, I'll just tell you what his story is. Okay. He graduated out of university, and he started doing a job, and he absolutely hated the job. So he quit his job. Okay. And he had some little bit of basic, some programming knowledge. He decided, okay, I want to learn by myself a little bit of game logic. Then he's decided, okay, I want to learn a little bit of how to do graphic art. Then he decided he wanted to know how to do music, and then slowly, bit by bit, he put all these pieces together, and it took him 4 years, right? 4 years, and then he created a game. Okay, now this game, if you look at it, you'll think looks like a game that came out of the 1990s. Okay, and this is something that was created only like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. Okay, and it looks like a game that came out of the 1990s. But his game design and everything, his sound design, all the things that he put together, all the elements that he put together, were so well made that he sold. So each copy of this game cost 2,000 rupees. Okay, he sold 20 million copies of this game, right? Basically, a guy who,
So what is the
you
name
know,
of the game?
it's called Stardew Valley. The game itself is not remarkable, but the story is remarkable, right? It is not what he, he like most of us would have gone to a job and got frustrated and everything, but he decided that that's not going to define who he is. He did something with the things he learned, and he achieved something far greater than almost any 99% of the people who's doing this course with him, right? And he was just an ordinary guy, nothing special about him. So did the marks matter to him? No. What mattered is what he did, right? So that's why I keep saying to you, don't fret about these 1 or 2 marks here and there, right? Life is much bigger than that. Instead, enjoy the learning, and what you learn, right? Think how you can use it and how you can achieve great things with it. Solve someone's problem or fix something that needs fixing. See what you have learned and how you can apply it to something that matters. And it can be something trivial. It can be something that looks like a very old 1990s game. But you know what? You can achieve success even with that. So what you do matters. It is not these trivial 1 mark here, that 2 marks here, that you're fighting over and dying over and getting frustrated over, and giving you blood pressure and all these things, right? It doesn't matter.
Certainly, you're true only, but I want to say a story which is my real story.
Okay.
So, in my BE degree, I lost
Yeah.
my rank, okay, university rank, just because I did not put for re-evaluation. So, if
Okay.
I had fighted for that, I would have got university rank.
So marks do matter at times. So and
See,
some people feel it's failure. Okay. So there are
see,
two
you're making
scenarios.
an
Okay.
assumption.
Yeah.
You're making a very big assumption there. That had you got the marks, your trajectory of life might have been different, more successful, etc. I'll tell you one thing: not a single person on this earth can guarantee you what tomorrow is. Tomorrow, you cannot guarantee you will even get up from the bed, right? So be very careful when you make that assumption, right? That if you had succeeded, you would have been in a different place. No one can predict that. Not a single
No,
person can do that.
today I am successful, but I
Yeah.
am telling if I had fighted for that mark, I would have got an university rank, and that would have
Mm.
been in my shelf as in proof
Mm.
for a
Yeah.
great achievement. So I tell marks to better, but how do you live or how do you be successful? It is a different case.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to tell you everyone that if people are thinking marks don't matter, then take my story as
Yeah,
an inspiration.
it does matter, especially when scholarships are attached to them. Right. Just one thing. Maybe in future TDS courses announce that any one of the GAs could be having bonus marks. randomly. So at least people know that there is a bonus associated
Yeah,
before.
I mean, a point noted. I mean, Telvin's, see, that's what something that I have said. The point is duly noted. Even even in the current TDS course, we said that it may come in discourse, right? I mean, if you look at the wording, yeah, because we ourselves
No,
are not.
wording is legally correct. Legally, I am saying it is correct. So there is no poking the whole thing. But if it is more clearer, it will help students in the future.
Definitely, agreed, agreed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, even course team didn't know what to do, and in fact, it was the brainstorming over a week that finally resulted in this. I mean, this thing that okay, let's give more time for collaboration and let's value the collaboration. So that's the larger decision behind the bonus. Okay. But I do agree. I mean, I do understand what you guys are saying. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, so I mean, having a slightly larger wording, again, the purpose of bonus is very clear for the course team. It should improve the learning, it should improve the understanding, and it should lead to collaboration. These three are the three pivots of the three, what do you say, pillars of tools in data science. You should always learn, you should always help others learn, and definitely the other part of it is always have a more supportive ecosystem for your peers to thrive, which makes the course much better.
Actually, sir, many new things happening this term, so that's why we really feel like why these bonus
Yeah,
given to week
yeah, yeah. I
seven.
mean,
Hey,
see, life is like
We
that.
tackle all
I
those.
mean,
We
no,
tackle
so
all
see,
those,
you
and
can't
then
see that's the beauty of this course, right? I mean, you compare this course with any of the. I mean, I'm even happy to say you compare it with even an MIT OpenCourseWare course. Take Gilbert Strand, for example. I mean, use the. I mean, compare this with even good standard courses and try to measure the learning coming out of those. I know it's not an
actually,
exactly an apple to apple comparison, but I think this is one of the truly world class course that you will see in the entire program.
yes, sir, I am agree with you, sir. Like till now, in this course only, like I learn a lot of things. Like I don't know coding at all, but using Chat GPT, I start to learn coding and all that stuff. So that's this course is amazing, sir. Really amazing. From learning point of view, I say like I learn a lot of things.
Our GitHub
So
contribution graphs are proof of the learning we have had in the
yes,
course.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
true.
Yeah. So something that you should also go and read is Anand has a post on learning versus scoring marks. I mean, just go and
Yeah,
read
I
that
read that.
post for everyone. I think it is a true reflection of what learning means, right? And to Telvin, I know university marks. So let me tell you my story to you, Telvin. I had the unique distinction of receiving uh, my graduation degree from two different prime ministers. Okay, two different prime ministers. I chose to skip it. So the point is whether marks or other things are important or this thing, it's a personal question. Okay, it's a personal value question. I mean, I do not disagree with anyone who's saying that mark is important for them. I do not disagree with them. But however, in the long arc of life, these things will not have that much of value because at a certain point of time, the certificate in the shelf and other aspects do not actually help you to cut through the difficulties of life. I mean, I don't have that much of experience, but I mean, whatever limited life I have lived
What you
in the
are
world,
saying is true only. I did my degree in mechanical engineering, but I am working in IT. That's the proof.
yeah. So,
That's too
so the point
successful
is,
only.
it's not about having that. I mean, yes, marks do matter. I mean, certain cases, entry, the thing, everything matters. But once you are inside IITM and you are an IITM student, You should understand what that value. I mean, there is a value to that, right? There are much more important, valuable points associated with it, and you're not defined by your mark, Telvin, or anyone for that matter. I mean, your CGPAs don't define you. Yes, your CGPAs actually determine a lot of different. I mean, whether you get to take part in master's courses inside IITM, all those matters, but it does not actually matter when it comes to success in life. Okay, in the long arc of life, success and other metrics, marks, I don't see the value. Yeah, it's a personal opinion. I will not disagree with anyone who says marks are important, but this is again my personal opinion that marks, I mean, though it may look important, it does not define who you are. Okay, so all those people who are having, who think that a mark is going to make changes, yeah, look back at this moment 3 years from now. I think the session is recorded and streamed. This YouTube, hopefully, YouTube won't delete this. This particular thing is there even for now. I think at least for 5-10 years, this recording will still be there. So you can come back 5 years or 10 years later and take a look at this timestamp. And yeah, I mean, then evaluate whether marks did actually make a difference.
Yeah, true, true. That's absolutely correct only.
Uh,
Yeah, JK, one
Carlton,
more
one
thing.
last thing I want to ask. Okay, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, regarding my ROU Clapton, you remember?
Yeah, yeah. See,
Yeah.
it has been
So
added. Only thing is, it has to be pushed along with the
Yeah,
GA
yeah, yeah,
marks
yeah,
and
yeah.
other
Yeah,
stories.
that no, yeah, it will be pushed along with the end term or like along with this
Before end
project
term,
marks.
before end term. See, the problem is the score
Okay.
push is an actual process. So unless
Okay.
and until we have, because there are multiple GA marks that are pending from TDS. So something that I've told Carlton is the amount of effort for pushing a single mark and the amount of effort for pushing everyone's mark is the same for us. So I've
Yeah,
told
correct. Yeah.
Carlton that we will add it, but definitely we will add it. Telvin, your name is definitely there in the correction sheet.
Okay, okay, yeah. No, no, I just want to know when it will be reflecting. That's why I just
Uh,
want to ask.
yeah,
That's
most
it.
probably it will reflect only on 14th, Telvin. It may not
Okay,
reflect
okay.
at the moment, but I assure you that your correction is there in place.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine, fine, fine. I just want to know because it's hardly 3 days left, right? That I want to clarify when it will be reflecting.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And Clapton, you helped a
One
lot
last
for
thing, sir.
project also.
sorry, what was the question?
Sir, I want to ask, like, will there be any session for Project One solution, like after end term or?
We have given the solution. It's on the discourse post.
Okay, so that's the solution. I actually tried that solution, but it's not running on local machine. So I have to create a Docker image, etc. and all.
Yeah. The solution is designed to be Dockerized. So that solution will, I mean, you can still tweak it to make it work on your local machine, but it is designed to be Dockerize and you'll have to put it in the test environment that we test everything. So even Anand's solution script, which he wrote, I think back on 27th Jan, if I'm not mistaken, he wrote that solution 27 Jan, and it wasn't even a very, in his words, it wasn't even a well thought out solution. So, but still, it ended up scoring the highest marks in the evaluation. So we did it exactly the same as everybody else. We Dockerized it and ran the same test suite that we do, and his came out on top. So,
All right, sir. Thank you.
okay, I think that's it for this session. Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks
Tomorrow
for
session at what time? Clapton?
8 to 10, same time
8
as
to
usual,
10.
8 to 10.
Yeah, that will be a final session, right? For TDS.
Yes, it'll be a final session, yeah. And
Okay, definitely I will join.
okay, great. So I'll stop the recording now because I think Ritvik wanted to ask some off the record questions. So, oh, yeah. And it's recording, stop recording.